towards the improvement of quality of life of everyone around here. Actually, as you may all have known, it has all started from a long, long time ago. We see examples of censorship in the execution of Socrates. Then we go further to see the censorship of the University of Cambridge of Darwin's Origin of Species. Then we see similar examples such as the burning of books in like the Nazi regime and such further things. And if we think about today, and more so I would like to connect it to today's issues in Azerbaijan, I would like you to examine an example of this, which is in this year's 8th of March protests in Baku, actually Tarkova. Oh, and before I started, I just would like to say that I know a lot of us here has presented and shared our personal stories of personals or stories of others around us that we have noticed, but I just decided that I would not like to actually censor or silence the voice of somebody that has already spoken out on these matters. So yes. Now, we can imagine what that is like. Actually, coming on here, I would like to share something personal, which was that I was scared to actually make my topic based on this speech. And this just made me realize a couple of things about this country and my personhood and like just about this whole issue and why it is an issue in the first place. I know that we all kind of have these ideas about the world and personally Baku, especially if you're an international and I'm interested in your opinion, but can I ask you, all of you, actually, for a minute to close your eyes and all of you, I'm watching, to think about the things, like the first things that comes to mind when you think about Azerbaijan, like the political structures, the how the government is really structured, how you read the news and all. So that, do you have any images?
First thing that comes to my mind when I think about Azerbaijan is dolma.
Okay, well, a little bit more deeper. When you watch the TV with your family, do you know what you'll see already? Yes. Precisely. So, but I would like to lead to another example of, censorship in China, which is one of the highest leading, least freedom of index of speech. Here is like an example of when you Google search, the internet is highly, restricted. So like this is an example when you research some topic like the Tiananmen Square massacre of 1989. It just says that it's like a myth, basically. And this is the Reporters Without Borders official site, which dictates that like China is 179 on the freedom index, so like basically last almost to how unrestricted their internet access and just like media transparency is. And if you could take a look, we are right here, which is not really that far. Now, I would actually like to make a point before I go into anything else, that there is a really good point that a lot of other people don't pay attention to. Before we hear a lot of criticism towards Azerbaijan, towards maybe the elections or how journalism isn't free and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, in those countries themselves, they don't have, like, their reportages are undoubtedly biased, like, towards their own personal agenda and so forth. And our president had said a really smart thing about, like, before you come and criticize Azerbaijan, is there really, why why don't you go look at Assange, for example, and things like this. But I think if we are to like propagate the idea that we're such a free country and that we are, don't have restricted access and so forth, then it should be easier to discuss such topics. But what we see in reality are these names. And these names, Khadija Ismailova, Leila Narif Yunus, Seymour Hazi, Rasul Jafarov, Anan Mamad Lee, Bashir Suleiman Lee, and the Azadlık newspaper. I want all of you to remember this, because most of these are imprisoned or detained or exiled from this country, or a newspaper, one of the only remaining independent newspapers in our countries, well, it got bankrupt, so for mysterious causes. I think it has been quite a heavy topic, and I would just like to think that there are some there is a way out, basically. If we speak out and we just know about our issues, if we continue searching for answers to these questions, like I have since a very young age, we can find ourselves in a position to basically kind of get out of this, how can I explain to you guys? But if we keep on looking out for petitions and making the legislations of our government more eager towards making our country as transparent and free of journalism, not free of journalism, pardon, making the journalism free as we imagine.
Censorship.
Not free of censorship, just basically more transparent journalism and